Ever wonder what the shortest book of the Bible is? It wouldn't take long to find out, especially these days when you can find lists of darn near anything on the internet. This week I'm going to count down to the shortest book of the Bible, starting with the number 6 shortest book. When we're done, you may think I've gotten it wrong. You see, the shortest book of the Bible actually has more verses and even looks a little longer in English than the second shortest book. But verses vary in length, and so you can have fewer verses that actually take longer. And English translations don't coincide in the number of words with the ancient languages of Hebrew and Koine Greek, the predominant languages of the Bible. I'll be going by word count in the original languages, and then we'll find out what is the shortest book of the Bible. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Monday, January 31st, 2022. Without any further introduction, let's begin. Weighing in at 659 words spread over 3 chapters and 46 verses is the Epistle of Paul to Titus. I've actually touched on this book several times over the last year, but it never hurts to go back over familiar ground. Unlike most other Pauline letters, this one is written to a single individual rather than to an entire congregation. It contains practical advice to a younger colleague from a mentor and guide. Titus has been assigned to work in Crete, a place which, shall we say, did not enjoy the best reputation. They had a reputation for being liars. In fact, in this very letter, Paul quotes a philosopher from Crete from around the year 600 BC who famously said, "Cretans are always liars, vicious brutes, lazy gluttons." Not a very promising group with whom to do Christian ministry. But evangelizing the Cretans was the task for Titus, and the author of the letter gives him some very practical advice. Absent from this letter are some of the main features we've come to expect from Paul, namely, no section on the content of the faith itself. But then again, since the writer is addressing one of his subordinates, he probably could assume that he knew the substance of the faith for himself. Paul says, "I left you behind in Crete for this reason, so that you should put in order what remained to be done and should appoint elders in every town as I directed you." Establishing a church on Crete meant training leaders who could carry on the work of the church even after Titus moved on. Paul's advice centers on training church leaders and members how to behave in a way that would bring credit to the church. To summarize his advice, Titus was to train them to live modest lives, being model citizens. In the reading from today, Paul says, "I desire that you insist on these things so that those who have come to believe in God may be careful to devote themselves to good works. These things are excellent and profitable to everyone. But avoid stupid controversies, genealogies, dissensions, and quarrels about the law, for they are unprofitable and worthless." Live life as a model citizen and avoid getting drawn into what Paul considered stupid controversies. Obviously, there are ideas and principles worth arguing about in life and even in the church. Paul's not talking about those. In the church, this would include things like the divinity of Jesus Christ and the idea that we are saved not by merit but by grace, that sort of thing. The problem is, some people just like to argue and will pick a fight over just about anything. The result of these kinds of petty arguments is polarization, when what is needed is unity. I think the church today still needs to hear this message, for we too, all too often fight over inconsequential things. They may seem like the most important thing in the world at the moment, but in the grand scheme, they are simply not worth dividing the church. For the church's witness not only depends on unity, The substance of the church's witness is the ministry of reconciliation, Christian unity. Engaging in stupid controversies not only hurts the church, it undermines the church's very witness to the gospel. The Epistle to Titus may be a short book, but do not confuse its brevity with its importance. Its message is important for every generation in the church. Tomorrow, number 5 in our countdown of the shortest books of the Bible. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day